If you're new to photography, you might be looking and wondering what's a good start for gear in terms of photography. Well, this video pretty much more or less answers that question. Since I only started photography seriously more or less just a year ago, I could give you a decent input on what that could be. But first off, I'd like to say I'm going to be talking about DSLRs, as mirrorless cameras are more or less a little more expensive, and if you want to stay on the more cheap side, then DSLRs are pretty much the way to go. Anyways, to start off, I'd like to say potentially looking at the Canon Rebel series. While this line has been retired as of late, you could still find them secondhand pretty much anywhere on some online marketplaces. I personally have the Canon Rebel T5. I purchased it last year in August. It's not a very advanced camera, and arguably as of now I feel like I've outgrown it and I'm definitely going to switch in the near future. But let's go back to August for a second. Back when I got this first camera, I pretty much said, wow, this is pretty good. And it could actually get decent photos. Some examples are these. Now, one thing I'd like to say is if you're shooting at night, or at least in low light situations, you might need a better camera in that regard, as the Canon Rebel series, at least my T5, isn't that great at low light situations, but you still can get something out of it, for example these photos that I took of trains. Now in terms of lenses, I pretty much say you pretty much only need two types of lenses, a wide angle and a zoom lens. I currently have the EFS 18-55mm and the EFS 55-250mm. These two lenses are pretty good for what they work with, as well as said before, one is a wide angle, the 18-55, and one's a zoom, the 55-250. I mainly use my 55-250 as I really don't like getting close to things. But that's just my recommendation. You can choose whatever you want based off of what you think you need. I also have a speed light, but in terms of this, I don't really think beginner photographers aren't exactly going to be using this like from day one. And there's also that nagging intrusion of no flashes allowed in certain areas where you're doing your work. But again, that's just my recommendation of having a speed light. You probably need it, you probably don't. But again, that's just a recommendation. I should also include having extra batteries, as for different types of work, you might be using your camera for extended periods of time. And I've also ran into moments where I had only my one battery, and things immediately went south once that battery died. This one I feel like is in between a requirement and a recommendation of having more batteries, as you know, incidents will happen where one battery dies and you don't have another battery and now you can't do anything. This happened to me twice at a football practice and a football game. I'm telling you this right now so you don't end up making the same mistakes that I do. There's also a lens hood that you could get if you're outside and the sun is directly beaming into your lens, causing your photos to be a little weird. But anyway, that will pretty much end this video on some recommendations of what you could have as a starter camera or just starter gear. Got any recommendations of your own? I'd love to hear it. Who knows, I might actually buy that equipment too. Anyways, that will end this video, and see ya.